Welcome to our channel. In this session, we will discuss the concept of instruction pipeline. Instruction pipeline means simply reading the consecutive instructions from the memory while previous instructions are executed in another segments. Generally, to process any instruction by the computer, it needs to follow the 6 steps. The first one is fetch an instruction from the memory. After fetching the instruction, decode the instruction. You know the meaning of decoding, that is the bits which are moved to address, which are data bits. What is the type of addressing mode we are using? After that, calculate the effective address. And the next one is fetching an operand from the memory. Next, execute the instruction, and finally sixth step, store the results. So these are the 6 steps you need to follow for execution of an instruction. Now consider a 4-segment pipeline. Assume we have a 4-segment pipeline. Each segment performs specific instruction. Now how many instructions we have? We have 6 steps. But I have a 4-segment pipeline. Now what I am doing? These 6 steps needs to be reduced into 4 steps that are executed in 4 segments. Now for that purpose, fetch the instruction from the memory. This is segment 1. See, in the segment 1, we are fetching the instruction from the memory. After fetching, the calculation, that is decoding and calculation of effective address. These two are merged into segment number 2. Now, fetching the operand from the memory is segment number 3. Execute the results and store the instruction. It is segment number 4. Now, each segment perform this specific task. This is the flowchart of instruction pipeline. Anyway, first our instruction is entered into segment 1. After completion, it enter into segment 2. Remember, once the decoding is completed, then only we know whether the instruction is a regular instruction or a branch instruction. So, after completion of decoding, we are checking the branching. Suppose if it is not a branch instruction, continue the sequential fashion, that is move to segment number 3, fetch the operand from the memory and execute the instruction. Once our entire instruction is completed, that is instruction 1 is completed, we are moving to second instruction, and then we are moving to third instruction when if there is no interrupt from the system. So we are checking if there is no interrupt, continue the process for the second instruction. At any point of time, if we have an interrupt, that is after completion of the steps, if we have an interrupt, obviously we are moving to interrupt handler, that is execute the interrupt service routine and then update the program counter. We know why, what is the need of updating. So where the address in the program counter is only to be executed, and then the pipe is empty. After completion, after handling of the interrupt service routine, now come back and do the same process repeatedly. And one more thing, whenever it is a branch instruction, remember, if it is a branch instruction, these 2 steps are not at all executed directly. So if it is a branch instruction, we are updating the PC, and then that is this branch instruction is completely executed. After completely execution of branch instruction, again the new instruction is fetched from the memory. Anyway, whatever the flowchart that we discussed, we will implement this one with an example of 4-segment pipeline. Then we will get the clear idea. Okay. Now, how many segments we have? We have 4 segments. I assumed the segment names are first F5. Fetching the instruction from the memory. This is segment number 1. And my segment number 2, DA. Decode and calculate the effective address. This is segment number 2. F4. fetching operand from the memory, that is segment number 3, and EX, execution of instruction. This is segment number 4. So segment 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we will move with a timing diagram. Then you will get the clear idea. First, instruction 1. These are the clock cycles. Clock cycles. At the first clock cycle, remember, at the first clock cycle, these are my instructions. Instruction 1, enter into segment 1. Instruction 1, enter into segment number 1. Clear? Now, in the second clock cycle, what happened? Instruction 1 is moved into next segment and instruction 2 is entered into first segment. Got it? Pipeline in the sense, after completion of one clock cycle, one instruction moved to the next segment, a new instruction entered into the previous segment. So this is happened at clock cycle number 2. At clock cycle 3, that is in the simple sense, at step number 3, instruction 1 enter into third segment, instruction 2 is entered into second segment. We have one more instruction. Instruction 3 is entered into first segment. Instruction 3 is entered into first segment. Now, clock cycle number 4, instruction 1 is entered into fourth segment. We already discussed, we have 4 segments. Once the 4 segments are completed, means the instruction execution is completed. Now instruction 2 is entered into the third segment. Instruction 3 is entered into the second segment and instruction 4 is entered into first segment. So up to now there is no problem. Everything is clear. Assume instruction 3 is a branch instruction. What happened? Whenever an instruction is a branch instruction, that is identified after DA. So after completion of this step, the DA is completed for instruction 3, then we identified that that is a branch instruction. Whenever an instruction is a branch instruction, the remaining steps, that is the remaining instructions are halted. That is, the remaining instructions are not completed from F5 to the next stage. Not fetched, not decoded, not executed. Clear? Now understand carefully. At clock cycle number 5, instruction 1 is already completed. Instruction 2 is entered into execution. There is no problem. Why? If it is a branch instruction, the next instructions fetching, decoding phases are not at all possible, but the previous execution is possible and instruction 3 is entered into third stage. Now instruction 4 does not do any operation, doesn't perform any operation. That is the branch, that is update the PC. Now clock cycle number 6, instruction 2 is completed. Instruction 3 is entered into execution. In this, the 4 is also not doing anything. 4 is also not doing anything. After completion of 6 clock cycles, in the next clock cycle, what happened? If the branch is taken, a new instruction is fetched from the memory. If the branch is not taken, already available instruction is placed. That means at clock cycle number 4, instruction 4 starts its execution from the beginning. Clear? Now clock cycle number 8, the 5th instruction. Now the 4 instruction is entered into DA. The 5th instruction is entered into segment 1. Now clock cycle number 9, 4th instruction moved into F4, 5th instruction moved into DA, and assume 6th instruction moved into F5. Now clock cycle number 10, The fourth instruction is completed its execution. Here what happened? Meanwhile, the fifth instruction is not doing anything. While fourth is not doing for 3 steps, 2 steps, fifth is also not doing, sixth is also not doing anything. So at clock cycle number 10, fourth is completed its execution, fifth is entered into third segment, and the instruction 6 is entered into second segment. Now instruction 7. Instruction 7 is entered into F5. Assume we have only 7 instructions. Then stop the process. We have only 7 instructions. Now what happened? At clock cycle number 11, 4 is completed, 5 is entered into segment number 4, 6 is segment number 3, and instruction 7 is segment number 2. Now, in the 12th clock cycle, F4 that is entered into EX, this is F4, and in the 13th clock cycle, instruction 7 is executed. That means these 7 instructions are executed in 13 clock cycles. If the instruction 3 is branch instruction, this is the only crucial step. Whenever we have a branch instruction that is identified in segment number 2, whenever it is a branch instruction, the remaining instructions are halted until completion of the branch instruction. And after completion of the branch instruction, if the branch is taken, we are fetching a new instruction from the memory. If the branch is not taken, we are taking as usual a previous instruction. This is the concept of instruction pipeline. What are the problems that are faced by the instruction pipeline? The first one is resource conflicts. Resource conflict in the sense, more than one segment wants to same memory at the same time. If more than one segment wants same memory at the same time. For example, fetching of instruction and fetching of an operand. Assume we have only one memory system. Instruction fetching and fetching of operand. Both segments wants the memory at the same time. It leads to conflict. So to avoid such a problem, what we are doing? For data, we are using one memory. For instructions, we are using other memory. Then this retrieve the data from the instruction. This retrieve the data from the memory. That is the first problem. Second one is data dependency. Data dependency in the sense, if one segment depends on the output of the another segment. For example, previously we have a load instruction, and next one is some add instruction. So this add instruction is depends on the previous load instruction. Why? If the content is completely loaded, then only we can do the operation. Dependency, one segment depends on the data of the other segment. One more problem is branch dependency. If we have a branch instruction, we need to update the program counter value, we need to update the addresses and data. Again, you need to fetch the instructions from the memory, these branch instructions. Anyway, these problems are overcome in the next session by using RISC pipeline. That is the concept of instruction pipeline. Thank you.